कर्मेन्द्रियाणि संयम्य आसते मनसा स्मरन् इंद्रियार्था विमूढ़ात्मा मिथ्याचार स uchyate. So today Bhagavad Gita chapter 3, which is Karma Yoga, and shlok number is 6. As you know that this Bhagavad Gita was spoken the battle of Kurukshetra, and Arjun did not want to fight because he saw his teachers, elders, relatives, friends, children, cousins against him. And since he was a great warrior, he knew that if the war happens, he had to kill them, which he did not want. So, some compassion kind of evolved in him, and Arjuna said to Krishna that Krishna, it is better that I should beg rather than to fight. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he is God. So, when he speaks to Arjun, basically he is speaking to the whole mankind, and he is revealing a divine knowledge, the knowledge which is talking about the highest goal of life, which helps us to understand the purpose of human life, and he also gives us lot many ideas that how can we achieve the highest goal, how can we live a peaceful life and make ourselves perfect. So that is why this dialogue is so important. First of all, Sri Krishna tells us, Arjun, before you begin your life, you must understand that what is your real identity. Your real identity is that you are a spirit soul and you are my part. You're not part of this nature, material nature. You are not body which you see yourselves to be. But in truth you are a spiritual spark, and this soul is residing inside you. Actually, you are residing inside this material body. The foolishness you commit is that you consider all beings as a body, and that's why you are not getting ready to fight or to kill them. Actually, you can never kill a soul. Neither you will be killed, nor they will be killed. It is just removing the outer covering. This is what the death actually means. So do not worry, you will never kill your great grandfather or your spiritual master Gurudev, who is against you, unfortunately. But this is the fact. So Krishna tells us a very uh, important, I think the most important point of our existence is to know ourselves. So Krishna also elaborately describes it that soul will never perish. It is an eternal factor. So now what to do with this? So this soul that is me, I am looking for happiness and superior kind of bliss and pleasure. How will I get that? So Krishna says that when you come to me, when you develop a relationship with me, when you love me, then you feel comfortable, then you feel happy. So the whole idea is developing that relationship with Krishna, with God. So Arjuna, while discussing chapter 2, Krishna says that you should keep all dirty works away from you and take shelter of the knowledge, divine knowledge. Then Krishna Arjun says, "Oh Krishna, if you feel knowledge is better than action, then why you are pushing me to this ghastly, this very dangerous action?" Then Krishna says, "You see, in order to reach me, there are two paths, there are two faiths, two ways. One is through knowledge and one is through action. But if somebody does not act, if somebody says that I leave all my action, all my karma, I will not participate in it." Krishna says it is not true because soul is always active. So even though a person is saying that I will not act, I will just sit down under a tree, even then he is acting, he is not idle. His meter is moving. How? Because mind is active. So living entity is active by nature. That's why even the mind, the body, the senses, they are also 24 hours working. Natu kasche charmapi jatu tishtati akarmakrit. So this is what you have to understand. And if a person says that now I have become very knowledgeable and I will not participate in any kind of work because I know they will bind me. Krishna says, no, no, no. Even then, since soul is active all the time, you just can't get perfection by not doing a work, or you just can't get perfection by leaving a work, unless and until your heart is pure. So, in today's verse, Krishna is saying that if somebody thinks that I will not act, I will not work, and I'll control my senses, I'll control my physical senses, I'll control my internal senses, then I'm not working, then there will be no bondage. Then today's verse meaning is one who restrains the senses of action but whose mind dwells on sense object certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. So now this is an important point that even though we are not working through the senses but our mind is hovering over the sense objects, then we are a pretender. You just can't say I just keep distance from you because we cannot get together. But in the mind, I curse you, I have enmity for you, enviness for you. So that means I am a pretender. What is more important is that I have to keep my mind pure. I must not have envious thoughts about anybody. So if I'm not eating a particular thing, but my mind is going there, and so this is not right. What I'm trying to say, what Krishna is trying to say here is that we have to control, we have to leave things through our mind, not through our body, because we don't carry objects in our hands. We don't carry objects through our senses. We carry objects through in our mind. We hold things in our mind. So we should focus on controlling the mind, purifying the mind, and leaving things from the mind. So what it means is that we have to purify the whole system. And there are many people who does not work for Krishna. They say we are meditating, but in the truth is that they are dwelling on the sense objects of sense enjoyment. Such people can speak very great words and memorize many things, but ultimately we see in the society such a many fall downs of the people, so-called people, and people are get cheated, and even that person who is into it suffers a lot. So for spiritual seekers or for any success in any field, we must have mind focused, pure. That is important. And how mind can be controlled? Mind can be controlled. It's a मन निर्मल हरि नाम सो कई साधन कई भाई कोयला दूनो कालीमा सौ मन साबुन लगाए. This is Doha by Kabir Das. It says, mind can only become purified through Harinam. Man Nirmal Harinam so. And there are other also spiritual practices which purifies it, but the most powerful in this time is chanting the name of Krishna, chanting the name of Radha, chanting the name of God. That is most important. Because no matter if you go in a cave of say coal and all, you'll get some dirt in your body, no matter how careful you are. So no matter how much other practices you do to clean the mind will get attached to sense objects. Dhyaito vishan punsa sangateshu upajayate. So the best way to control the mind is mal nirmal harinam so. We should take this mind to Krishna. That is what is recommended by our scriptures, Vedas. That is what is recommended by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Advaita Acharya, Rup Sanatan Goswami, and all great personalities, those who have achieved God, those who have awakened their love for God. They are advising us that you take this mind to Krishna through Harinam. So they all are putting lot of emphasis on performing sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti is very much important. So sadhana bhakti has to be performed every day. Even though the mind goes here and there, still one should do one sadhana very nicely, and with time, when it becomes attached to God, then it becomes raganuga bhakti, and then there is no impetus, no external force is required. It automatically, naturally runs towards Krishna, just like rivers are running towards the ocean. Nobody can stop a river. It's just running all the time. Similarly, the mind runs towards God. Mind runs to serve the Lord, to serve the devotees, to serve the humanity. That is what is needed. So, once again, we should try to purify the mind and not show to other people by restraining our external senses. So, through the senses, we should work vigorously for serving the Lord and His devotees. Hare Krishna.